My dick didn't work when I was on antidepressants. And
Sent your girlfriend for antidepressants after that.
We're saying goodbye to the stigma around mental health with raw, real, and sometimes unconventional topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay, so you and I feel very similarly. Like, we would never tell somebody, don't take your antidepressants. Like, that will never leave my mouth. And I think I speak for both of us. We've had this conversation before. That will never leave yours. However, that being said, I personally think that these doctors are pushing antidepressants as a step one instead of last step, instead of a last resort. And so I know when I first got onto antidepressants, I was in high school. I was not suicidal prior to antidepressants, but if I missed one day of medication, by that evening, I was all of a sudden a suicidal kid, and that terrified me. It terrified me. And what's going on with this is that people are getting addicted to their antidepressants because they're scared of what happens if they miss it. And I think that's a huge problem in the mental health field.
absolutely. I mean, I felt that too. I didn't have that experience with antidepressants, but it was definitely, I was put in a situation where I'm in front of a doctor and they're asking me what's wrong. I have depression. What do we do? No one said anything to me about exercise. Nobody told me anything
Diet?
about, processing what I was actually depressed about. Nobody
Why?
asked me why I was depressed. I probably didn't even know at that point, but it needed to be explored. And it was just medication after medication. And what happens too with people on medications, well, I can speak for myself, but I know a lot of people that have had this experience. Medication alone, and I'm exactly the same, where I've seen medication help some people. But that's not a fucking magic pill.
Mm-mm.
You can't just take a pill, but they kind of have that in your head where you're like, you're going to take this and your life is going to get better. There wasn't anything with it. It wasn't like, try taking a low dose of this and getting up every day and going for a jog or some shit. No one said that shit to me. So inevitably, I'm just taking a pill. It's not solving my problems. It's not working. Instead of let's try a different kind of therapy, it was let's try another fucking pill.
They increased my dosage. When I came in, I said, I have a problem. This isn't working for me. They said, oh, we're just not giving you enough.
Right.
Really?
It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that we're doing this to people. It's fucking lazy is what it is.
It's making money.
Yeah.
It's making money.
Well, they're generating money, and it's, I'm not going to have to put in any work with this person.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Here's your answer. See you later.
Right.
And that's so fucking, there's no connection in that.
They need to write a 3-week, let's go to therapy, let your therapist figure out your why, let your therapist figure out what's going to help you feel better. Can you get to a gym? Do you have access to the gym? Let's try the gym. You don't have access to the gym? Let's get you outside and get you in the sunshine for an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, and let's see how this affects you over the course of the next 3 weeks and find what works for you so that you don't feel like you're relying on this other substance, this foreign chemical in your body. Because what happens when you think, I feel better, I'm going to get off of this now? What tools have you put in your toolbox during that entire time that's going to help you the next time things go dark? The next time you have an issue, because if you are struggling with a mental illness, there will be a next time. It's just inevitable. What tools do you have in your toolbox so that you're not, I need another pill. I'm out of my pills. So when I had those experiences on antidepressants, it was so hard for me later in college, to go to a doctor and say, I'm struggling, because I knew what that doctor was going to do. They were going to prescribe me a drug. I didn't want to be on the drug. And I told them up front, I do not want to be on medication. And so it took a really good doctor to say, Laci, I'm going to prescribe you something, but don't freak out on me, because thankfully she knew me by then. Don't freak out. This is just when you need to take the edge off. This isn't a daily. This isn't, we're going to keep tracking up your doses over time. This is, you do what works for you. Keep coming to therapy, keep going to the gym, keep doing what works for you. But when it's hard, when you have that really dark moment, this takes the edge off for you to get back to feeling better. I was more than fine with that. But that was the difference. It wasn't the solution. It was the crutch. And that made the difference for me personally.
And there is that is necessary sometimes.
Yeah.
There are people in crisis that sometimes need something right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that we should stop looking at what's causing the depression or anxiety and just write it off. I mean, that's the position people get in too. I mean, for me, even when I was self-medicating, for instance, I was high all the fucking time, and I was feeling good, but I was numbing the shit out of some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get in some legal trouble. I get court ordered to rehab. I'm off all the drugs, and fuck, did that shit all come back and hit me at the worst time, because I'm locked in a facility with a bunch of fucking people I don't know, some of which are fucking shitty criminals. And all of these things are back in the forefront, and they come back hard, because God, it's fucking an awful position to be in. And honestly, we do that with medications too. We need to address things. We need to get to the roots of a fucking problem and not numb it. And I'm sorry, but I have to make the comparison to some antidepressants and anti-anxieties to me doing street drugs all day, because that's the same effect it had on me. And until I actually put in work and got around people that had some suggestions to some therapies, one of being just going to the gym and moving my fucking body, that would actually help me, and until I started processing some of the trauma that put me in the position I was in the first place, I didn't get any fucking better. I was numbing it, whether it be with street drugs or whatever the doctor was giving me. There wasn't a fucking difference. I fucking had terrible experiences with antidepressants. My dick didn't work when I was on antidepressants, and listen to this shit.
It sent your girlfriend for antidepressants after that, I tell you that.
Exactly. What a terrible experience, though. You look, I was a teenager that hated himself.
Hormones raging.
And then to add to it, I'm having this problem, and it's a fucking terrible thing for a young girl too. She's
what
like,
are you doing?
"Why is this happening?
Do you not like me?
Am I not pretty?" And that's a real fucking thing. This is the kicker. No doctor told me that could be a side effect.
Well, of course they're not. You're not going to take it if they did.
So in my head,
Oh, you thought it was you.
I'm not only a fucking broken fucking person that has extreme depression. Now, I'm a broken young fucking teenager with extreme depression, and
It's not funny,
fucking
but
it is. Looking back on it, it's a tragedy, but it's so fucked up. I'll tell you, the day that a doctor first mentioned that, because I didn't bring it up. I didn't say, "Oh, my fucking," every time I'm with. It was a fucking terrible experience. But a doctor one day just was listing, and he said, "If you had any sexual dysfunction," my fucking head was like a cartoon. I'm like, "What, motherfucker? That's what's doing this shit?" That I was so. There was a time where I was.
Any gentleman listening to this that's on antidepressants, do not stop them cold turkey. Let's go talk to your doctor about this.
It doesn't happen to everybody. For me, it had that effect.
That's every man's excuse from now on. Well, it's just my antidepressants, baby. It's not you. It's my antidepressants. I have anxiety.
Oh shit! That's
you have anxiety, all right, baby.
That's so fucking great. Oh fuck. Anyway, yeah.
So you're not on antidepressants anymore.
No, I haven't.
Does your junk still work?
Now I'm good. You know what the crazy thing was? There were these times when I wasn't on antidepressants, and when I wasn't on antidepressants, I was on street drugs. So there was a time in my life as a teenager that I thought smoking weed made my dick work, but it was because I was off antidepressants. It wasn't fucking weed. So it's like
You're like, man, this
At
shit's
the
so
sa-
good.
it was I was fucking.
Hang on, baby, 1 second. We got to roll one real quick. I'll be ready for you in a minute.
Yeah, I was a big fan of weed. It was like a lifesaver in so many ways. But yeah, no, I don't take any antidepressants or anti-anxieties. I have depression, periodically. I have extreme anxiety sometimes, but what I've found are solutions that I know.
One, don't make your junk not work.
Yeah.
One, priority one, Nicholas.
Yes, absolutely.
Priority
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, I'm a guy. That shit is serious. It was a fucking tragedy. Like, on top of being depressed, that was even a bigger tragedy. And I'm like, okay, all fucking hope is lost.
But you found things that work for you now.
Now, I'm always adding tools to that. And that's the cool thing about this project is that we're always connecting with people this is therapy for me. Cheyenne too, everybody that's involved with this. When we go to a place and interview people, we're constantly like, I'm using this shit. This is amazing, amazing stuff. But yeah, for me, I've learned when I have terrible anxiety, I need to get in the gym. I have to do that. When I can't sleep and I have anxiety, I need to do some meditating. And it's not like these things that take this giant amount of effort. I've learned those things about myself, and it took time. Like again, we're always adding to that arsenal. We're always finding tools. Like when I got injured, the MMA fighter broke my ribs, I had to stay out of the gym. Initially, I'm like, fuck, where's my anti-anxiety now? Where's my antidepressant now? I'm not going to go to the gym. And then I'm like, you know what? I have all kinds of fucking tools. I get around people that make me feel good. I meditate. I keep myself out of situations. I don't drink fucking alcohol or do things that can spark fucking anxiety or depression for me. And that's what we're trying to introduce people to here. Like when we find a tool that helps us, try this shit out. And that's what we should be asking of our mental health professionals, doctors, therapists, across the fucking board. These are the things that should be suggested first. We shouldn't be, have you tried Paxil? Fuck your dick up, but have you tried Paxil? We should be getting, and that's what we're creating is a community that we want people to come. When people connect with Mind Muscle Pro, they're connecting with Laci, who has all these fucking tools. They're connecting with Cheyenne, that has all these tools. Alex, all of us. We want to be able to introduce people to tools that we've found, and we're always finding new ones. We're doing shit. I just went this morning. We interviewed a wellness spa, and I got into this big bubble, deprivation tank, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I laid in this salt water and this therapeutic music in complete darkness. And I'm like, holy shit, this is relaxing.
Did you get any claustrophobia?
No. I was just fucking, I have trouble turning off. Like my brain is go, go, go. At night, I have notepads by every inch. I have a big house. I'm writing things down. Right beside my bed, there's all these notes. I'm wide awake.
That's smart to get it out of your head, though.
It is, but when you have trouble shutting down, that's a perfect fucking for people. And again, it's just another example of we're learning new tools and we're sharing them, and it's a fucking beautiful thing. And again, like I'm not anti-medication. I think that there's been times that I know people personally that have found some peace with antidepressants. But I'll tell you this, and this is fucking dead honest. I don't know anybody that has had depression and anxiety that just takes a pill and all that shit goes away. Everybody I know that has success with it, it's augmented by...
It's a combo.
Yeah, it's a million different ways they do it, whether it's yoga or the gym or, there's a million examples. But I don't know anybody, I've never met anybody that just takes an antidepressant and like, oh, I'm fucking good. I just don't. Maybe there's some people out there. I've never met them. I've met a lot of motherfuckers that take antidepressants. I mean, it's what we fucking do. So.
That's our go-to, right? Just snort it up. God, can you imagine somebody out there snorts their antidepressants?
That's a great idea.
No, Nicholas, it's not. Do not do that. By the
Please,
way.
please do
Don't
not do that shit. I'm sure it would burn. I tried snorting a lot of things as a young person. Jesus.
Weirdest thing you've ever snorted, was it pixie dust on the school bus?
I never snorted candy, but we definitely crushed up some pills that weren't snortable pills, and just to see what the psychiatric hospitals. I'll tell you, Jesus, like they watch you. There's some truth to some of the movies where they make you show you like.
Oh yeah, like
They make
you just swallow it.
No, we got real good at like hiding them in our cheeks, and some of the nurses were just fucking lazy. And we'd save them up, and we'd trade with other psychiatric patients. It's a really fucking weird world. I was in a state mental hospital. I'm sorry. It's not PC, I think, to say mental hospital, but I've been in that shit, so I can say what I want. But
You're off the hook.
psychiatric hospital. And God, we had some crazy times in there because
Pun intended.
that's all you. You're fucking awesome. But yeah, it's yeah. Don't.
It got
fucking,
wild.
Don't snort. Don't do drugs, man.
Don't do drugs.
Nancy Reagan was right. Like, just say no to that shit.
Drugs are bad, kids.
Didn't
Drugs are
do
bad.
anything good for me, man. It felt like it did. That's the thing about drugs for people that are depressed. When you talk about self-medicating, for me, it was the first time I felt peace. It was the first time that I wasn't trapped in my fucking mind and that I felt okay. And when you feel that peace, you do the shit out of it. And that's what happens. And it destroyed me in a lot of ways.
Well, you get these blissful feelings, right? You get this happiness, this euphoria, and you're not trying so damn hard anymore to get there. It's just all of a sudden, ooh, I'm happy. I'm in love. I feel great. But what they don't tell you is the next time you do that drug, it's not that same level. You got to do more to get there. And the next time you do it, it's not the same level. You got to do even more. But the worst, the other side of that flip side is when that drug runs out of your body, it's worse. And then you just did more, and it's even worse, and it's worse. And you dig yourselves into these deep, dark holes that if you have depression, you have anxiety, I understand why people think drugs are a good idea. I totally get it. Why wouldn't you want those feelings? It's that come down. It's that aftermath. It's that you're digging yourself even deeper than where you started, and it's a whole hell of a lot harder to crawl out.
It also, like, I mean, for me, I got in legal trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to deal with police officers and arrests and jail and rehab. And it also caused me to do things that are out of my character, like steal from people I love and treat people that I care about like dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me a very selfish person for a while because I'd found what I thought was the fucking solution.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is, I don't want to hate myself. I don't want to feel this anymore. And when you find it, you fucking find the shit out of it. And the cool thing about where I'm at now is I've found that without it being something that, you know, creates a person that's not me. I don't, you know, steal from people I love. I don't hurt people I love.
Mm-hmm.
Now my solution is something that it doesn't hurt anybody. It just makes me feel good. And again, that's what we're after here. We're after helping people find that. And we interview so many people that have had, you know, it's synonymous with fucking mental health. Like, it's inevitable that a lot of people that have mental health issues are also going to have substance abuse issues because they found what they thought was a solution. And
Well, people have been pushing drugs in front of them this whole time anyway. So how different really is it in your mind?
great point. Great point. Is like, this is supposed to make you feel better. Well, this actually makes me feel even better than the shit you're giving me. And my dick works.